On November 18th, 2014, Steen ceased his daily 30-minute run through the fields and valleys, through the villages, forests, and hills of the virtual world. From that time onward, if he wanted to continue his run, he could do it in the spiritual world, through the spiritual hills and valleys, villages, forests, and fields, in his spiritual body. His physical body by that time had long since been able to do any running at all. You see, Steen had Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is a disease that progressively takes away the ability of the body to use the muscles to do anything at all. By the time of his death, he could only move his fingers. He was confined to a wheelchair, but he still had his video games. Of course, after his death, his parents, Robert and Trude Steen of Oslo, Norway, were very sad, as anyone would be, from losing their son. But they were especially heartbroken that their son would never be able to experience having friendships, falling in love, making a difference in people's lives. And so they were confused and amazed when emails started coming in from Mats's friends telling what a wonderful person he was, how much he had meant to them, and all the doings of his life. And they were thinking, what is this? Who are these people? We've never heard of these people before. We only saw Mats in his room playing his video games. He never went out. Who are all these people? Well, it turns out that Mats had actually done all of those things that his parents were sad that he had been unable to do. He had made friends, he made a big difference in their life, and also his parents even met his first crush, who happened to be a young woman from the Netherlands. And so they were amazed, and they began reading these emails and finding that Mats had a very rich life. He had lived a whole virtual life for many years in the game, the World of Warcraft, where he was part of a guild, where he had many friends, where he went on adventures, where he ran through the fields and valleys, and where he had fights and made up, where he did all of the things that people do in their lives with the people around them. And so, although they retained their sadness, of course, they began to realize that their son had had a very rich life. And it asked the question, what is reality? Mats would talk about in real life that he was a handicapped person, and if only he weren't, he could have been able to do these things in real life, but now he could only do them in the virtual world. And yet, real life, what is real? To him, that body did not correspond to the reality of his mind. In his mind, he was young and healthy. His avatar in the game was a muscular young man who was pretty good looking and who the women fell for. That expressed something of his character. So what is real life? Is real life this outward physical life that doesn't always correspond to what's in our mind, or is it in the world of the mind? And the fascinating thing about video games is that they are worlds of the human mind. They come from the human imagination. They build worlds that come from the human mind. And those who are playing them are living in those virtual worlds, we call them, but they're really worlds of the human mind. And this is where Mats was having his life. This was where he was having his relationships. This was where he was falling in love and breaking up and getting people mad at him and making up and helping people with their own lives, and not just their lives in the game, but in their real lives. And so his parents came to realize that their son indeed had a very rich life. And for us, of course, if we have a physical body that works, yes, we're put here for a reason. We're meant to go out there and make friends and have relationships and make love and work and play. But for those who can't, this does raise the question, what is our real life? And I believe that our real life is the life of the mind, but not just in a fantasy virtual way, that there is a real life in the mind. And at the beginning I said that now Mats could do his daily run in the spiritual world, through all the fields and valleys there, through the villages and towns, through the forests, because I believe there is a very real world that we move on to here. And not only that, but that world is the world of the human mind and heart, because there everything is expressing what's truly inside of us, all the things that Mats couldn't express with his physical body because it did not correspond to what was in his mind. Now he will be able to express just as he could, like anyone else, in the virtual world of World of Warcraft. And so his story is a story really of the spiritual world, the world of the mind that we've now recreated in many ways in our virtual worlds, in our games. There's a whole lot of negativity about video games, but I believe that they are a truly positive part of life that we have been able to build now, especially for people who aren't able to live a full life with their physical bodies. And so I think it's a good idea to take these games seriously and pay attention to what's going on there, because people are having real friendships and real relationships. They're breaking up and getting back together. They're fighting and making up, and they're helping each other with their real lives in the real world. But the really real world, I believe, is truly the world of the human mind, and that's the world that Mats Steen has now gone on to live his life. I hope you find this helpful in your daily life, and I wish you Godspeed on your spiritual journey.